We're going to go ahead and call the council meeting to order at this time. If we could please stand for the pledge, and if I could have Coach Jerry Rich, Jerry Rich, will you lead us in the pledge? Thank you.
Pressure.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call?
Backnick? Here. McKinney?
Here.
Shaver? Here. Saracen?
Here.
Bertrand?
Here.
Heights?
Here.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the February 18th regular council meeting minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Backnick? Aye. Bertrand?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Abstain.
Heights?
Aye.
We need to add an agenda item this evening that would be Resolution 2025-37. It's a resolution confirming the appointment of Charles M. Plata as a Class C Auxiliary Police Officer Cadet for the Village of Fairport Harbor and declaring an emergency, but we'll get to that later on in the agenda. The other thing I need to do to get a motion from council is we are going to honor the girls bowling team with a resolution 2025-35. I would like to move that up as soon as you guys make that motion.
So moved.
Second.
Would that motion include the addition of the additional?
Yes.
Okay.
McKinney?
Aye.
Bertrand?
Aye.
Backnick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2025-35, a resolution honoring the Fairport Harbors girls bowling team for their outstanding performance in the 2025 OHSAA State Bowling Championship and declaring an emergency. Whereas the Fairport Harbors girl bowling team has demonstrated extraordinary skill, determination, and perseverance throughout the 2024-2025 bowling season, culminating in an impressive second-place finish in the OHSAA State Bowling Team Championships, Girls Division II Championship Round. Whereas the Fairport Harbor girls bowling team includes Mackenzie Pilning, Jillian Justinger, Sophia McLaughlin, Kylie Durst, Lauren McKinney, and Kaylee Muzzin. And whereas the skippers exhibited tremendous fortitude and teamwork, winning critical matchups against number 3 seed St. Mary's Memorial and number 2 seed Bryan before competing fiercely in the championship match against Urbania. And whereas the girls Fairport Harbor girls bowling team's remarkable achievement serves as a testament to their hard work, their sportsmanship and commitment, bringing pride and recognition to Fairport Harbor and inspiring future student athletes. And that now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Fairport Harbor and the County of Lake, State of Ohio as follows. That the Fairport Harbors girls bowling team head coach Dean Vargo, assistant coaches Jerry Rich and Anthony Evanchuk, all contributing team members are hereby recognized and commended for their exceptional achievements and for representing the community with honor and distinction. Section 2, that this council finds and determines that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were taken in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council and of any committees that's resulted in those formal actions were in meetings open to the public in compliance with the law. Section 3, this resolution is deemed to be an emergency for the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the village to ensure a timely recognition of the Fairport Harbors Girls Bowling Team's outstanding achievements and shall take effect immediately upon adoption. We need a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Okay, suspend. Heights?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Vacknick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Sarisy?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Adopt. Heights?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Vacknick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Sarisy?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Thank you.
Congratulations, ladies. Be careful of the cords. This one's for the school. We don't get you wrong. We got two more there, so that make it. Congratulations. Wonderful job. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Sir? Sir? Always good. There we go. Okay, we'll get pictures and then we'll get you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You guys wait a minute, we're getting Jeff up here.
No, that's all right.
You sure?
Yep.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You
sir.
want to take these to the field? Kristen, if you don't, I'm going to make a motion. You got it. See you.
Second.
Second. Take care. All right, from our solicitor, Mr. Jim Lyons. That's a tough act to follow there, sir.
Well, excuse me, it is, but I'd like to also congratulate the girls bowling team. That's a great accomplishment, so that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I have a couple other proclamations to read. So Saturday evening, there will be the men's, it's not the Men's Civic Club no more, it's the Fairport Harbor Civic Club's annual awards dinner where they honor the Citizen of the Year and the Golden Beacon Award winner. So I'm going to read those two proclamations now. Dinner's at 5:30, Karen, yes? Yes. At St. Anthony's. I think it's light refreshments, so if you'd like to come and see the recipients of the awards, please do. What's that? No cost. Got it. Okay, so, whereas James Clark has been selected by the Fairport Harbor Civics Club to receive the 2025 Citizen of the Year Award, and whereas James was born and raised in the Columbus and Cambridge, Ohio area. His early years were spent in foster care, moving frequently from the age of 3. He was adopted at 5, but re-entered the foster care system at age 9. James is a 1997 graduate of Cambridge High School, and he attended Zane State College. Whereas James has spent most of his adult life in the culinary industry, working his way through various roles, including prep cook, grill cook, sauté cook, and kitchen manager. In January 2018, James acquired Rigo's Brickhouse Pizza from David Rigo, which he currently owns and operates, continuing his passion for the culinary world. And whereas James has been devoted to his wife, Katie, for 14 years, celebrating 10 years of marriage. Together, they have 2 children, Kennedy and Micah. He is also proud father of 3 older children, Caitlin, Cameron, and Kendall, all graduates of Fairport Harding High School. His extended families includes Jordan, along with 2 grandchildren, Milo and Luca. They have also 2 beloved dogs, Lola and Mackenzie. And whereas James credits many of his life's lessons to the kindness, empathy, and friendships he received as a child from dedicated teachers, educational staff, and caseworkers who went the extra mile to support him. During his time in foster care, James was the recipient of donations provided by charitable organizations, and these experiences have left a lasting impact, installing a deep appreciation for generosity and the importance of giving back. Having never forgotten that support, James is committed to helping others wherever he can. And whereas James actively gives back to the Fairport Harbor community by donating his time and resources He regularly caters funeral luncheons at St. Anthony's Church and provides pizza for high school sporting events. His contributions extend to fundraising such as donating a portion of sales to the Fairport Harbor Sports and Boosters, and as well as feeding Fairport's Hungry. On Labor Day, he generously gave all the day's proceeds directly to his employees who worked the holiday, an act that was featured on Fox 8 Cleveland. Rigo's Bricks House Pizza was recognized on the Business Honor Roll by the Ohio State Board of Education in 2018 and 2024. And whereas in his spare time, James enjoys attending comedy shows and spending quality time with his family. He loves working on home remodeling projects and engaging in backyard activities like grilling, basketball, and swimming. James believes in treating others with respect, honoring differences, being authentic, and always seeking the positive in people. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the mayor of the Village of Fairport Harbor, County of Lake, State of Ohio as follows, that the Village of Fairport Harbor does hereby recognize and honor James Clark as a 2025 Citizen of the Year Award recipient. And witness wherever I set my hand and cause the seal of the Village of Fairport Harbor to be affixed this 22nd day of March 2025. The Golden Beacon Award is being awarded posthumously this year. Janice Conda was the winner. I don't think we've ever had that happen before, but Janice was a sweet, sweet lady here in town. And this is always a special award to receive because I've been a recipient of the Person of the Year, so you could be good for 1 year and maybe get recognized, right, if you get lucky, and that kind of happened in my case. Not saying it for James. James does a lot of good things for the community, but to be recognized as the Golden Beacon, that's many, many years of dedicated service to the village and to church groups and to PTA groups or whatever those are. Janice certainly fit that bill. Personally, I got to know Janice through her brother, Ron Teasel. He's a neighbor of mine. My wife likes to give chocolate chip cookies out, as Christina knows, as gifts around the holidays, and we did that for Ron for a number of years. And Janice found out, and she got some, and she loved them, and she wanted some. Well, I knew Janice was a good cabbage roll cooker, so I was able to barter chocolate chip cookies for cabbage rolls, and it worked out in my favor quite a bit. So, and then, I would see her at the Hungarian Reformed Church paprikash dinners, et cetera. She was always there. So she'll be sorely missed. Her calling hours and funeral were last week, but we'll still honor her Saturday. And again, if you want to come and celebrate the two recipients, please do. So whereas Janice Kondak has been selected by the Fairport Harbor Civic Club to receive the 2025 Golden Beacon Award. And whereas Janice is a longtime Fairport Harbor resident and a 1957 graduate of Fairport Harding High School, she has two children, Terry Teasel and Colonel Michelle Astrom, two grandchildren, Jessica and Taylor, and two great-grandchildren, Jackson and Ryland. She also has two siblings, Ron and Donald Teasel. And whereas Janice is a member of the Fairport Harbor Civic Club, Vintage Heritage Museum, Fairport Harbor Senior Center, Fairport Harbor Tourism Council, Red Hats, and also belongs to the Dave Roeder Veterans Association, helping veterans. Janice was recognized with a certificate of appreciation by Lieutenant Robert Miller, U.S. Air Force Medical Services, by U.S. Air Force SFC Surgeon General for her daughter's 35 years of service. And whereas Janice is a member of the constancy business for the Hungarian Reformed Church and helps to raise funds through chicken paprikash dinners and the Christmas boutique. As a member of the fellowship committee, she assists with the monthly coffee social. She also sends birthday cards to HRC members called Keep in Touch. She's a third-generation Hungarian, and whereas in her spare time, Janice collected dolls and books. Some of the dolls she owns are miniature replicas of U.S. soldiers in all branches of service, which are used for veterans presentations. Her favorite author is Daniel Steele. She also enjoys sewing and crocheting, as well as growing vegetables and flower in her garden. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the mayor of the Village of Fairport Harbor, County of Lake, State of Ohio as follows, that the Village of Fairport Harbor does recognize and honor Janice Kondak as the 2025 Golden Beacon Award recipient. And witness whereof I set my hand and cause the seal of the Village of Fairport Harbor to be affixed this 22nd day of March 2025. Okay, nothing else for me this evening from our village administrator, Lucas Darling.
All right, in the council packets that went out, not attached to, but in that envelope, you should have all received a current draft of the proposed DORA application. The process for adoption is a bit different than a normal ordinance. There are multiple notices that we'll have to send out. So this isn't something that moves too terribly fast. Please review it and be comfortable with it. It is much easier to change before Tim formally submits it to council. And then the next thing I have is, so Congress recently adopted a new 6-month budget to fund the federal government. Unfortunately, when they did that, they removed all of the community requested funding projects. So Verdantis will be resubmitting the St. Clair Street Connection project, which will hopefully be funded in fiscal year '26.
So that was for the interconnect on St. Clair Street.
Yes.
So we were still in the design phase. We had federal funding for it. It was agreed upon, as Lucas said, before the last Congress. The new budget was just passed. We still stand a pretty good chance of getting funding. We'll definitely be engaging with Dave Joyce's office and anyone else that we need to. So, Tony, we may be leaning on you to make some inquiries on our behalf. But again, I think it's a good project. It was funded before. Understand that we're going through some changes in DC, and I'm sure we'll shake out on this one too. So,
Yep. And we made it all the way to the last round, and it's not just us. They cut every community project. The entire budget that was passed was 99 pages. The next thing I have is in your packet, there is a memo titled Energy Rates. So this includes, or this lists out all of our current electric and natural gas accounts. This went before the Utilities Committee, and they recommended that the village maintain participation in NOPEC's standard program, but that the natural gas should be shifted to the preferred pricing program at the 24-month term. In the near future, starting in June of 2025, we are expecting energy increases of somewhere between 10 and 15%. That is on the transmission side. That is not anything that we have any control over. That was due to a capacity auction that occurred last year, where prices came in considerably higher than what they were expecting. So for this, we are asking for a motion to approve these recommendations. That way, Chris and I can get the paperwork signed on this and transfer over our electric service.
so we need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. Saracen?
Aye.
Beckman? Aye. McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye. And for the record, I have made the
You
the
did it,
motion.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, just so it's recorded properly.
The last thing I have is yesterday we were notified that our water loss audit grant application was approved by OEPA. So we will be receiving $20,000 in this reimbursement grant. And because of, normally I would like to have a resolution before council, but since this came yesterday, we are asking for a motion to authorize me to sign the grant agreement.
Any issues with that, Mr. Solicitor?
No, Lucas and I discussed that, and I recommended it because if the EPA turns out that they want a resolution, then we can still do that. But a motion on these type of administrative matters should be acceptable. Okay.
Okay.
So moved then.
Second.
Bertone?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Beckman? Aye. Shaver? Aye. Saracen?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Lucas then?
Lucas, what are we looking at for a timeline for Dora then? I mean, I know we can't say exactly, but roughly, I know it's 2 to 3 months from.
2 to 3 months. I would love for it to be done by July. Once Tim formally submits this to council and we go through all of the public notices, we can get the signs ordered and ready to be placed once council approves it.
Is there any backside where we have, 30 days after it's approved, so that would go into effect? Or is it immediate?
I think it goes into effect immediately.
Okay.
The last step would be for Chris or myself to notify Liquor Control and the State Department of Public Safety, but that's just a notification. They don't need to confirm anything.
And just as a point of record, there'll be public hearings and sessions and stuff like that. I've had some emails both in favor of and in opposition of, and I wouldn't even say it's opposition, just questions about it. And I'm sure the door and folks in the village are going to have questions about it, but there'll be public meetings for it, notices, et cetera. So there'll be plenty of time for public discussion on it. All right, Lucas, thank you.
I had one quick question for Lucas.
Go ahead.
Just, I see the streetscape phase 3 is on here. What's going on with the lighting, all of our new lighting that is now being
Yes.
reworked on?
So when Streetscape Phase 1, when the lights were installed, they were installed at an angle. So on our new light poles, there are 4 channels, 1 on each side, and we can insert banner brackets and other things into those channels. It's my understanding that, and Andy, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, the manufacturer of the poles sent our contractor the wrong base plate, so then all of our lights were installed at an angle. And at the manufacturer's cost, VL Chapman has come in and turned them all slightly with a new base plate.
Yep, that's what my understanding was. They just reoriented them 45 degrees so the banners can be 90 degrees perpendicular with the street.
Okay, so that's being covered by the manufacturer of the lights.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
While we're on the subject, there was additional issues found with those poles, is why they were down for a few days, is the contractor didn't install the correct cable to code, the electrical cable, so that had to be fixed, and then they weren't leveled correctly. They were packed in with mortar, so all that got adjusted. The village has outlaid roughly $500 to
Yeah,
fix the electrical issues. We're going back through CT to the contractor, and we'll have them reimburse us for the work, so. It was a good thing that they were installed wrong, because with the cable being wrong, it probably wouldn't have lasted more than a couple of more years before we were into them fixing the, so what it was house wiring was used, correct? And so it wasn't rated for outdoor use. So it was a good catch. All right, thanks, Lucas. Andrew, you got some explaining to do. No, I'm only kidding. Go ahead, Andrew, from the village engineer.
Thanks, Mayor. Just have a couple things this evening. Firstly, we disconnected water and electric to the Orchard Street water tower. So next up is actually removing the physical structure, which that's scheduled to begin on Monday. They're going to be bringing in a crane and a lift. They're going to start on that on Monday. Second is the 5th Street Storm and Sanitary Improvement Projects. We did have a pre-construction meeting with the contractor. We're anticipating starting construction in April. And that's all I have for this evening. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Notices are going out to homeowners, et cetera, around the water tower?
Yeah, they've
What
already
that
been.
looks like?
They've already been sent out.
Okay, very good.
And what's the plan for the Orchard Street playground? Staying?
We're not doing anything with the playground at this moment.
Okay.
So we'll have conversations once it's down and what village council wants to do with the parcels. So, yeah.
We may get some free site grading throughout the park because the contractor is going to be disturbing some of that area. So we may be able to regrade it a little bit better. Hopefully the best we can to help it drain a little bit better. You know, there's some ponding issues there.
Good, thank you.
Mayor, are there any easements that we have to abandon as part of the waterway?
I don't think so at this point. I don't think we had anything discovered. We know we got the water line out into the tree lawn and capped off, so there's nothing going to be left on the property there with it, so,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. From our fiscal officer, Christine Page.
All right. In your packages, you have the financials for the month of February. Revenue for the month was $751,181.20. Expenditures for the month were $673,094.65. Your reconciled balance is found on the bank reconciliation a couple pages back. Reconciled balance for February is $3,518,579.57. In the month of February, we earned $10,929.35 in interest. Moving to the second page, year-to-date for January and February, revenue has been $973,663.69. Expenditures were $1,216,216.22. Your check register is at the back of the package, and I'm happy to answer questions if you have any.
I do not. Does anybody have any questions of Christine? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
On old business, ordinance number 2025-04, an ordinance authorizing the tree commission to establish a rebate program for the planting of new trees on residential properties and declaring an emergency. And when we say residential properties, this is tree lawn trees?
Yes.
Does it need to specify tree lawn trees?
Section A3, the tree must be planted on a tree lawn in front of a residential property within the village.
Okay, very good, thank you. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Barknick?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver? Aye. Saracen?
Aye.
Bertrand?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, Safety Committee, Mr. Saracen.
Yeah, I have, everything's in the packet, the reports from the two chiefs. I did talk to the chiefs, I don't think they really had anything to add, but I do want to thank Chief Lloyd, and in particular, showing our residents where that, when we passed that levy, where some of that money went. And I was really happy to see the heart monitor and the defibrillators. It's a great thing for Fairport. And I asked the chief if he had anything to say on it. It's only costing us 2.5% interest, I believe, but
This is a program we promised to upgrade our equipment. So this is one of the items we're replacing, is our heart monitors and the defibrillators that are in the rescue squads. I worked on it with Lucas, Jim, and Christine, and beat the company down. So it's a 10-year lease. So we'll get 2 new monitors this year, and then 5 years we get 2 more. So we'll always have state-of-the-art equipment on the squad for people. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
just want to thank all of you. It's a big thing for the village.
I only want to add, because it's walking season again, so Chief, I apologize, you're going to get texts and calls. Denora has some broken windows, so you may want to get an officer, or we'll send zoning over and take a look at those, and these are new ones. So we can't board them up, they have to replace them with glass. But there's some other homes I saw, and I'll talk to you. All right, thank you. An ordinance to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Saracen, you did?
Aye.
No? Was that yours, your motion? Thank you, I appreciate that. Shaver? Aye. Barknick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Bertrand?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2025-32, a resolution authorizing the administrator to enter into an agreement with Zoll Medical Corporation to provide advanced heart monitors and defibrillators and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Move to suspend? Sorry.
Move to suspend.
And your second?
We said it at the same time.
Give it to
Said it.
Elizabeth, because I heard it.
It's yours,
Right.
okay.
Okay.
Heights?
Aye.
Or suspend. Heights?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Barknick? Aye. McKinney?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Bertrand?
Aye.
Adopt. Heights?
Aye.
Shaver? Aye. Barknick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Saracen?
Aye.
Bertrand?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2025-33, a resolution amending compensation rates to establish a compensation rate for Class C auxiliary police officer cadets and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt. Second. Move to suspend. Second.
Suspend Backnick,
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Adopt. Backnick,
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2025-34, an ordinance establishing the classification of Class C auxiliary police officer cadets and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Suspend. Saracy,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Adopt. Saracy,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2025-36, a resolution to approve and adopt amended 2025 permanent appropriations and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Suspend. Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Saracy.
Aye.
Adopt. Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Saracy.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2025-37, a resolution confirming the appointment of Charles M. Plata as a Class C auxiliary police officer cadet for the Village of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to second. Suspend.
Second.
Suspend. Saracy.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Adopt. Saracy.
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Bertone,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Anything else from council this evening?
I have one question. I've had 3 calls in the last week about removing trees on their own property, like in the backyards. So what is the process for that? Not in the tree lawn, but in the backyard. Does it have to go through tree commission or just let council know? Or let Lucas know?
Tree Commission only addresses trees in the tree lawn, and I believe trees on your own property is considered a civil matter. Is that correct? That's the way it's been explained to me before.
Yeah, I believe so.
I've never asked anyone to cut a tree down on my property.
Well, in the
I don't know if that's
past,
right, wrong, or indifferent, but
I know in the past it came up. The only thing that would be if it was overlooking another lot.
Right.
And if the tree would. But
We'll
other
get an
than that,
answer.
we don't have anything.
right. We'll get you an answer before the next meeting. I'll put it in Lucas's report. I don't know that you need any permission for that.
No.
Jim,
As far as I know,
do
you do
you,
not.
do you remember anything?
I do.
Uh-oh.
But I guess I don't quite understand the question, Jerry.
So somebody has a tree in their backyard that's half dead and they want to cut it down.
Oh,
It's a person themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, like if it's in your backyard and you wanted to cut it down, do you
Correct.
need any permission from the
Correct.
village?
Yes.
And the answer to that is no.
Right.
Okay.
Right, that's what I thought.
what I
Sometimes the
thought, but I-
tree commission has been involved very, very sparingly
On
for
property.
a dangerous tree
Yeah.
on somebody else's property.
Right.
right.
Okay, and that's quite a to-do in terms of that process, but we have to get an arborist in, but that's not the situation here. And that's only been done maybe once or twice during the time I've been here.
Right. All right, that's what I thought. Thanks.
Okay. Very good.
But to clarify, Jim, though, if they're contracting with somebody to remove a tree on their property, they would still need to be registered. The contractor would need to be registered within the village, correct?
Right, if we have a registration requirement, which we do, they would have to register. If they're doing it themselves,
Right.
I would advise the neighbors to get away.
You're not wrong. All right, anything else from council? If not, we're open to the public. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Leanne Mantione on Fifth Street and also commercial properties on High. Two items, one that was brought to mind when you were discussing the lighting in downtown. The lighting that is on the bridge coming into downtown, I know it seems like sometimes it has issues with, I don't know if it's disrepair or there's issues with the pieces on top being consistent or staying. So I was just curious if there's any work that's planned to make sure that those are all in order.
Painesville maintains those.
Okay.
So I know some of the globes aren't the same. My guess is they
Yeah.
probably are having problems finding matches. What happens a lot of times when the winds whip through is they'll just take them right off. So I do know they try to match them the best they can, but that's all I know.
So does Fairport's border then start after the bridge, and the bridge is Painesville's as well?
Basically,
Essentially.
half of the bridge is ours and half of the bridge is theirs, but they own all the lights.
I gotcha.
Right.
Okay. The real reason I wanted to speak this evening was to ask if there's any updates on the evaluation of zoning changes and updates for the downtown business district. I know that's something that was raised a few months ago, and just wanted to see if there's any action items or progress with respect to those changes.
So I think, we've had multiple meetings since, we had 3 or 4? At least 3 in committee, and then I know we met unofficially for coffee to discuss as well. Friday?
Yes, Friday.
Friday, Lucas sent a proposal to the group, or to Elizabeth's committee for conditional use permit for those types of businesses, for the offices, medical offices, or whatever. So that might be up for consideration here. I think we're probably going to have a meeting again next week, right? Is it next week or the week after?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, we'll have another committee meeting and see where, what we decide or what the committee decides to take forward. And then from there, it's a zoning change. It'll go through a lengthy process of notices and reads, et cetera. So yes, quite a bit has been done. We've read different communities. I know you were at the meeting where we had it up on the screen. We are actively pursuing grant opportunities for a master plan to redo that, which would have a much broader conversation. From the meetings that I've been involved in, a lot of questions, a lot of chatter, a lot of good questions about what we're doing in the downtown area. There seems to be a lot of interest with it. When you do your master plan, there's a piece of that is very much public oriented, right? And I think the timing is really perfect for a lot of this conversation to be had. So whether we get the granting or not, I've asked Lucas and instructed Lucas to get us a firm quote on what a master plan would look like, or a comprehensive plan will look like, cost-wise, and I would challenge council next year to fund it one way or the other. We haven't had one since 2012
Yeah, it's been a very long
Comp
time.
plan was
or
2002.
2002. I think that's the last time that it was
Yeah.
updated. So it's time, but being diligent, servants that we are of the public money, it would be nice to find a grant that might be able to cover it. But I don't think we can wait multiple years, or at least another year, in order to go forward with it. So we'll see what the costs come in at and what the bids are, and then we'll go from there. But
So-
yeah, quite a bit of action.
That's great. And it sounds like there's work that's being done with respect to, I think, immediate concerns on the office side or medical side, or things that are sort of arts and entertainment shopping district issues ahead of that comprehensive plan.
I would say yes at this point.
Okay, good. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you. Justin. I know there's another hand up in the back, sorry. I saw Justin first. He's got an orange shirt on, Karen.
Only one school board member is allowed to talk, though, so he's the only one.
I like Jerry's rule.
I'm not sure, did they submit their questions ahead of time?
We're not going there. Go ahead, Justin.
There we go. All right. Justin Levine, 319 New 4th Street. Just a question about the DORA side of things. With the concerts having a temporary liquor permit in possibly an area that might be part of the DORA, one part of the application process asks us if there is basically going to be, well, not going to be, if there is a DORA currently in the area where the temporary liquor permit is. I just didn't know if we had any kind of contact with a Department of Commerce person to kind of ask about it, just because technically on the application that we already submitted for Harborita-ville, it says that we don't have a DORA, but if in July we do have a DORA, I don't know if that makes any
I would say you're fine
differences.
with the no, because at the time of submission, there isn't one.
Okay.
So I would just proceed with that, and if anything changes, we'll let you know, but
Okay.
I think we're pretty much in control of allowing that permit.
Okay.
Not so much the state. The state will give it if we say yes to it, so.
Okay.
All right, I wouldn't worry about it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Karen?
There you go.
Karen Bidlack, 635 Eagle Street. I'm just wanting to know about the property behind the storage facility on East Street. Is that owned by is that part of the village?
No. I think that's either, I don't know if they bought that outright or if that's still owned by the family that owned our pets, because I believe that property goes all the way almost up to the river.
Yeah, it goes right up. Yeah, I did, because
Yeah.
I noticed that they
And again, I'm not sure who owns that.
did a lot of tearing down of trees and stuff, and I didn't know if something else was going up there or an extension of.
They may be, and they may be selling that lot off, because I know the one next to us is for sale by the Songus family, right? Is that who had our
Songus,
pets?
yes.
Songus, yeah. So, and I know they held around, but again, I don't know what the storage place bought off the top of my head.
That's all.
Thank you. Okay, if nothing else, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Heights?
Aye.
Kraftnick? Aye. McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver? Aye. Saracen?
Aye.
Burton?
You guys have a full board already?
I got a feeling.